to our wonderful fairy tale, Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lives in a village near the forest. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood asked her mother if she could visit her grandma. "That's a good idea," her mom said. She packed a nice basket to take to her grandma. When the basket was ready, her mom said, "Remember, go straight to Grandma's house. Don't talk to strangers." "Don't worry, Mommy. I'll be careful," she said. But Little Red Riding Hood noticed some lovely flowers in the woods when suddenly the wolf appeared. The wolf asked, "What are you doing here, little girl?" "I'm on my way to see my grandma, who lives in the forest."
Little Red Riding Hood realized she was late to go to her grandma's house. She said, "I will run quickly to my grandma's house." The wolf, in the meantime, took a shortcut and arrived to Grandma's house first. Come in, I was worried. See, that something had happened to you in the forest, said Grandma. Poor Grandma didn't have time to say another word before the wolf ate her up. A few minutes later, Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. The wolf jumped into bed and pulled the cover over his nose. "Who is?" the wolf said. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." When Little Red Riding Hood entered the little cottage, she couldn't recognize her grandma. "Grandmother, your voice sounds so strange. Is something the matter?" she asked. "Oh, I have a cold," the wolf said.
"But grandmother, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to hear you with, my dear," replied the wolf. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to see you with, my dear," replied the wolf. "But grandmother, what big teeth you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to eat you with, my dear," roared the wolf. She ran across the room and broke the door, shouting, "Help! Help!" Wolf, as slowly as he could. A woodsman who was chopping logs helped Red Riding Hood with the wolf. He grabbed the wolf and spit out her poor grandmother. Little Red Riding Hood had learned an important lesson. "She'll never speak with strangers again in the forest," she said. Red Riding Hood and her grandma were very happy.